Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's September 4th, 2024. We've got a 1v1 match between XfactorLive and Alt F for Ubibetar on Hades Pond. So he's going to be opening up arm bots. X Factor looks like he's opening core bots. He's making it, was that energy converter? Okay, I don't know why that looked like an energy converter. The build silhouette. So what do we got here? 3 ticks into Resbot. I love Alt F4 style. I think he's a great player, and would like to see him place a little better. Right, he made it to the round of 4 this last season in the Bar Pro League. So looking for him to do it maybe a little bit better than that performance. But X Factor is also a really strong contender. Makes these like optimized build orders for certain maps. Let's see what he brings today, or wants to play today, against his ARM opponent. So pretty greedy open though, actually, right? Like 3 mechs into bot lab, 2 cons first, and now they're just sitting on the factory making units at the moment. I don't like this about... see a lot of pro players do this with like how they construct their SimCity around their commander. I know you're abusing like the build range. That's really optimized, but it feels like kind of weird defending your base like this. So looks like 1 tick is going to find a little damage here. It's going to stop that radar from going down. It's going to force X Factor to rebuild that. They actually cost a lot of energy, so it's not like a negative. 630 energy. How much is a grunt? Is 880. Here come 2 ticks looking for some damage. Alt F4 is really good at not losing these ticks. We'll see in that nice little catch there. Pawn taking out a grunt is pretty good. As I say that, 2 ticks go down in the back. Game moves on. So a couple more ticks making their way to the back line here. No resbot here from X Factor as of yet. So it's interesting. He doesn't want to go for those, and maybe I guess that's where he's putting his metal into all these like wind turbines. So looks like a couple of grunts are going to trade here in the middle of the map, and there's a decent size, you know, kind of making their way to the front line here. So is that going to be a point of contention here for the next 2 minutes? You know, we haven't really looked much at Alt F4's base here. He's got 1 con turret finished. He's expanding with his commander. And 1 con. He's got this resbot over here grabbing some energy. Nice to see. Pawn tries to find some damage there in the back, but just barely doesn't kill this grunt. So this game is looking kind of close to being over, actually. We'll see how much damage or how much X Factor wants to press the issue here, but that is a lot of grunts, and I don't see a great way of stopping these. But then again, X Factor doesn't know he can just like step right forward into the main base here. Maybe he'll figure it out sooner than later, but basically, you don't want to be kited by the grunts. That's the name of the game, and a little bit of a micro slip here. Yeah, X Factor is just going to come in and clean this up. This is a lot of damage here. So, he stopped microing for a second there, and actually this pawn's got a sick amount of damage on top of these grunts. So, I'd like to see a little bit of reclaim micro. Yeah, that's going on now. Damn, those are strong. Pawns and con turret do a lot of work. A lot of damage there in the back line. I think there was some counterattacking going on in the back there. That gets cleaned up. Maybe takes 1 mechs out for their troubles. Alt F4 is bringing back this resbot. Oh, it's going to get caught out by a grunt that is going to let it run away. So kind of getting lucky there for a moment. Where's Alt F4 at? He's just continuing to expand with his commander. Like to see that. He's got some decent reclaim in his main base, but I would like to see some more cons expanding. That feels a little bit light. X-Factor just got 2 cons expanding. His commander is just content to sit on that factory and spit out units. Not a lot of energy excess. Has he made any converters yet? No. So really balanced eco here. Like to see that. Here comes round 2 of this push, and Alt F4, it made the memeiest of meme units, the Centurion here. I really like the Centurion personally. With Resbot support, it's pretty strong, but that's going to shoo all these grunts away from now. They're going to look for another angle of attack, and they're really not going to find one for now. I mean, this is pretty keen. Centurion is just rotating to the back of the main base, kind of sensing the next attack here, so needs to get that supported with some more units. I think that support is going to deal with the single grunt that slipped through. Gets caught out, cleaned up really nicely. So that's where the game is at now. Both players navigating this early game. Oh, this control though, you got a kite with this Centurion. It's going to get surrounded and go down immediately. If those units were kind of grouped together with repair support and micro, that would have gone a lot differently here. But yeah, now this looks really bad. That is so many grunts in the back of the main base. And there's really no way to stop this. There's no turret. I see 2-3 pawns on the other side. A Centurion just pops out of the factory. So that is going to end up shooing this away. Really nice timing there. So it kind of, I don't want to say lost the minimum, but does a decent job of cleaning that up. And, you know, has 3 res bots out. He's going to continue to res all of these units. I really want to see more build power on the map, though. He needs to get a couple more cons expanding down this right side, you know. See, X-Factor's been naked expanding, right? Just has so much pressure on the board. Finally, I guess is backing up now to kind of cover his bases. I see some grunts moving to the top side of the map. And is making a vehicle transition. So spending that metal he has in the bank. He's got another con turret finishing, another factory, so getting a lot of extra build power online. Completely neglecting all these mexes in front of his base, actually. So pretty interesting commitment to expansions from both these players, really. These resbots are doing what they can to get these units back on the board. More build power being added on for Alt F4, who's running low on energy at the moment. He's got 5 construction turrets, a decent amount of solar, but I only see one arm bot expanding E, which I think at this point in the game you really want to be up to like 2 or 3, maybe even 4. Standing underneath the con turrets, expanding E, that is, right? So thing like this, right? See that from all those top level guys. Let me take a sip of coffee. Where is this game at? Take a look at the statistics. Metal produced 10.6 to 8.6. So Alt F4 is up on metal despite me griping on him not expanding as much. I really like this control from X-Factor here. He's got grunts defending this choke point, right? He's got units streaming out of the middle, so he can kind of defend that with his own factory units. And he's got units down here in the other closest lane to attack, right? So blocking these 3 lanes with units, pretty cool. He's got a counterattack sweeping through here, so that will eventually find this. And this push from Alt F4 is going to get deflected here. This incisor is starting to come out on the board. And they're going to chase away these units for now. Even onto the high ground, so are they going to get trapped up here, actually? If he's going to commit to running up that hill. Yeah, these units are pretty much surrounded. Meanwhile, on the top side, pawns are breaking through this front line. And look at all these halos, actually. So this is the units from earlier. Going to find a lot of counter damage here. If X-Factor is going to think about moving into the air factory. Getting some Shuris out, but yeah, decent counterpunch here, taking out some mexes, grabbing the expanded con. I mean, what is that? 6 mexes going down? 7? This commander's continuing to go forward. Look at this counter push though from X-Factor. What is this? 11 tanks, 8 grunts, making their way to the other side of the map. It's gonna take quite a bit of units to clean up, and this counterattack on the opposite side of the map finally gets cleaned up for X-Factor, so he's free to micro there. This forward Centurion is going to go down, so not the best use of such an expensive unit, but yeah, this is interesting. You see more of these kind of units spread out across the map, so it seems like Alt F4 is you know, kind of messing around, building these units, and even moving into an air factory of his own. So kind of foregoing that vehicle factory for now. One energy storage up for Alt F4. Here's that push on the right middle side of the map. So incisors are going to be leading the charge. You see a couple of Centurions, or 3 Centurions, trying to cut this off as best they can, but they're a little bit out of position. Let's see how both players want to choose to navigate this perfect little flank there. And yeah, really doing a great job of kind of shooing this army away. This is right next to the bot lab here, so reinforcements are on the way. We see air cons coming out straight away, so that's going to be the unit of choice here to start expanding. I've seen Alt F4 do this on this map before. Yeah, and that's a nice call. So if anything, what this raid has done is spot the air from Alt F4. So XFactor immediately goes into air of his own. It's going to start these fighters, and they know to look for these really, really weak air cons, right? So they're totally exposed. They're going to get a couple of mexes up. But just before, these are going to go down so quick. I mean, they just get like one shot. Oh, one fighter goes down. So, but this one fighter, look at this. Shot takes out. One pass takes out basically both. I mean, they're kind of a missed shot there, but yeah, it's unfortunate. These really expensive air cons going down. Oh my goodness, this raid still hasn't been completely dealt with yet, so last aircon. So 4 air cons going down there. That's really nice value from XFactor to pick those off, who's really just securing his position on the board. He's even got his own Shuris out now, so that's going to shut down the Centurion push straight away here. And suddenly, I feel like XFactor is just kind of closing his grip on this game. See a rezzed core Centurion in the middle of the map. It's going to flank these this con and Resbot in the back of the line. Incisors are stepping forward. What, 14 incisors? How are you going to stop this? 2 LLTs and a couple of pawns? Oh, he just turns around. Okay. Maybe just wants to consolidate, group up some forces, wait for these Resbots to get this 1k metal here in the center of the board. Centurion's doing work. 3 kills. Finally, is going to go down. Chased into a corner. Backed into a corner. Nice production here from Alt F4, who's trying to spend this metal by going for a vehicle lab. So 3 factory production versus 2. Alt F4 has got a lot more build power in the main base. And is up on metal, so we'll have to see how these next few moments really pan out. We see this big group of pawns have made their way to the bottom side of the map. I don't think they're going to be able to push into this LLT exploiter wall here. This single con got up, so pretty crazy to think about that con that was naked expanding at the early part of this game. Built all this static defense. Excuse me, we have this big push in the middle. Incisors stepping forward, pushing into maces and rocket bots. That was here. They kind of evaporated under these medium tanks even. Look at this Centurion in the back, just getting that DPS out. I mean, I know they're kind of bad. I just love these units. They do so much work if they like kiting and were prepared. Kind of crazy. You see 4 Resbots here, ready to go, just scooping up all this metal that's on the ground. So not committing to the reclaim or res, just going right for the reclaim. And XFactor has moved his commander forward and is going for a forward bot lab. So look at this though, just a couple of units break through here, getting a lot of eco damage. Just push and mid is still going on. Pawns streaming out of the factory here, trying to shut this down, and some Janus are making their way to the front line here. Even see a mine layer out. So much to going on. So it looks like these air cons were rebuilt to expand to the south side of the map. Trying to figure out really who has air control at the moment. I've seen fighters like straight fighters everywhere, but it looks like there's some Shuris in the back of X-Factor's base to clean up these raids. This fight in middle is getting shooed away. I think it's close. But the forward thugs are just really nice to contest this like reclaimed field or that's forming. Right now I think it's more in Alt F4's favor, but it could shift. Could shift. This Khan in the back line is going to re-expand to all this. Alt F4's commander is pretty much safe, so is X-Factor's. Nothing to worry about. Haven't really been keeping track of these Janus shots, but I don't really see anyone see any Janus except the one making its way to the front line. So you really got to retain those units and get their value over time. You just can't let them fire once and get destroyed. Kind of wasting metal that way. What is this? Thugs on repeat? Okay, love it. We're gonna see a couple of con turrets go up, and maybe he'll end up moving that commander. Sure, he's in the back line, locking down these units. Alt F4 is still sitting on 3 factory production, churning out air cons, fighters, right? I think if X-Factor knew how many air cons there were expanding right now, he'd be a little more inclined to take those down. But yeah, kind of giving Alt F4 all the time he needs to expand. This reclaim field in mid has gone towards blue, right? He's got his res bots in the back doing his thing. Cons reclaiming. Really nice game. And then finally we see the fighters moving down here, trying to take out these cons. So this is going to be juicy. What was that? 6 air cons. Is this A going to get finished? No. So really nice value there. Meanwhile, this army, we have maces versus thugs in mid. You don't really see this too often. How's this battle going to go down? Like thugs that are kiting are just kind of insane, honestly. They have such strong range. These brutes have so much health, right? So I don't think any player can really trade into each other without losing most of their armies. I think that factory was reclaimed. And these twin guards are going to start coming up here. So where is this game going? Do we see T2 anywhere? So yeah, idle air lab here from Alt F4. Yeah, T2 actually. So with X-Factor, I see 4 T2 cons have already been made. So, and a Tsar. Okay. So this is a big problem. I wonder, has he heard the notification? T2 unit, let's see, has he dropped a... Yeah, there it is. So he must have known, or it just is sensing the transition. You see a full metal bar there from Alt F4 that is just being wasted through right now. So he's got the lab up, but he's going into Mauser production, right? So there's going to be a huge eco lead here in a second for X-Factor. Unless maybe perhaps this gigantic T1 army finds a lot of damage. See how he chooses to split this army up. These Tsars are really slow, so right now I think there's a window for Alt F4 to do something. The thing is, he's got these like slow, clunky units, right? The Whistlers, Janus, Maces, right? So he split off what units he can. The medium tanks and pawns to try and find damage. Shuris are going to show up and shut this medium tanks like down super hard. Maybe not. Fighters show up, clear out the Shuris. But the problem is the metal game, right? I don't see any T2 cons out for Uberbator just yet. And what, X-Factor already has 9 T2 mexes up, so kind of insane. Another Tsar shot goes off. What is this up to? 16 kills. Jeez Louise. A lot of those were those res bots we saw go off, but love to see this T2 core vehicle play here. I remember someone was saying the Tigers are just kind of busted because of their HP, so we'll see how they start performing this game. Mines out for Alt F4. He's got the north part of the map mined up. He's got his army in mid. Some units in like south here that really can't find any raiding damage. That's unfortunate. Although I say it, there's just tons of exploiters here. Any T2 power up just yet? I mean, look at this metal difference, 165 to 134. Suddenly, X Factor is overtaken Alt F4 and metal produced, and now there's a couple thousand metal differential between the two. No titles from either player. See that in a lot of games, like commanders will just go into the these pawns here. And here we go, T2 versus T2. So bulls in the front. First Czar shot kind of gets wasted on some kind of unit there. I didn't see exactly what that was. But these bulls can kind of contest that single Czar. What are we looking like here in mid? 5 tigers, a bunch of T1 tanks. I really think if X Factor wanted to, he could push that lane if he wanted. But I think he's content to just upgrade his mexes. If he's split the map in half, kind of. He must know he has... All he has to do is, like, kind of... excuse me. He has to sit behind here and upgrade. Oh, he left. It's unfortunate. He has to sit behind here and upgrade his mexes because he was playing so greedy with his cons, right? Four T2 cons first. So he's even stopped making T2 units to get up this factory. Or, excuse me. T2 power. T2 PGen, which is almost finished. He's going to use that to power these mexes, right? So really nice. Really nice eco here from X Factor. What is Alt F4 doing? I haven't checked in on him in a while. I see T2 power is already finished, right? So that's one saving grace. He's got some mines. He's scouting out his opponent. Okay. And isn't really taking any damage. So he was able to naked expand, like, all on his half of the map, right? I think he's done a superb job kind of securing his position after taking some kind of early damage, right? It was kind of weak, and is getting another T2 power up. So I wonder what he's going to do with all this energy here. We'll have to see. But he is staying on par in the energy game with his opponent. And isn't too far behind on metal, right? 190 to 160. You see that T2 factory turned back online. Anti-nuke coming up. Another T2 power. Big fight in mid. These tigers are going to kite units for a little bit, but the Mausers in the back are getting some pretty nasty value. The Centurion Mauser. Did you ever think you'd see it with the Whistlers for vision and line of sight? Not bad. I hear another push in mid. Okay, so these T2 point defense going up. Gonna bully away these bulls in middle. Covered by that Tsar. And on the top side of the map, I see 3 bulls, a shredder, and a radar vehicle that are gonna get a lot of value here in the next few moments. That could actually be a pretty annoying, because this shredder is gonna start taking out that fighter screen if it moves any farther south. And we see the gunship showing up. Okay, this is getting wild. So gonna force X Factor to move his own fighters down. Yeah, they're gonna end up cleaning up these gunships. They don't get too much value. But look at this T1 army that's moving in, and all these bulls. That's gonna be a wild push. Meanwhile, on the top side of the map, these bulls are gonna get a lot of value. Shredder and radar bot in tow. Okay. Is Hector making any kind of transitions? No. This is going to be a crazy fight, so I'm going to try and capture both of them. We got Tigers in the south side of it that are just shredding this T1 army, and those are a lot of like tech units, right? Bulls versus Tiger in central mid. I see some Mausers making their way to the that fight. So it looks like Xfactor didn't want to press that advantage. I really think he could have just smashed that army if he wanted to, just like artillery and Mausers. But here we go, Bulls versus Tigers. Bulls have the advantage if they're kiting, right? And it looks like they turn around pretty quickly too. I didn't quite notice that. These Mausers in the back are gonna get some value. Yeah, getting their shots off. Okay. These air cons are just reclaiming over top of these T1 tanks, and look at this army that's kind of going in undefended. Gonna have to follow up on that in a second. Looks like there was some kind of T1 run by here. 3 grunts have made their way into the back line. That's gonna be really annoying to clean up. Did that Tsar go down to mid? I'm not sure where that Tsar went. Okay, Starlight in mid? Literally anyone. I'll join in a second. I gotta finish casting that. After this. Okay, that T1 army gets cleaned up here by the Bulls, but look at this in mid. 4 Tsars. Jeez Louise, this is crazy. 4 Tsars are going to just shred this T2 army. Yeah, okay. He turns around, right? Yeah, you don't want to run into that. A couple of Shuris are going to try and shut this down, but the Shredder deals with that. T2 point defense is going to take out the Starlight, and not what you really want to see. And look at this. Tigers are going to get on top of the energy production. We'll have to see. No, they're going to get bullied into mines. Oh. So this game's pretty wild. Still have that little fight in mid here. All these tech units are going down. That's not what you want to see. Mausers and radar bots and shredders. So I love these T2 unit compositions we see running around the map. Okay, so where is this game at? 215 to 200 metal per tech. 3k to 3k. Super even. No T3 transition, it looks like, just yet. And Alt F4 stopped scaling energy, it seems. So both players did. This is kind of wild, a really intense game. Never seen like a T2 battle go on for this long. See, in mid, this Tsar is gonna get taken out by a couple of Bulls. Not what you want to see, but finally this army at bottom is going to get cleaned up by the Tigers here. And that's going to give Xfactor all the space he needs to take a deep breath, get his res going, continue ecoing, right? I think he started a couple more of these T2 powers here recently. And I wouldn't be surprised to see some kind of T3 transition out of him soon enough. Getting some scouting down. Meanwhile, on Alt F4 side of the map, we see another T2 PGen going up. A couple of Starlights coming out. Crazy build queue. And yeah, T3 coming online. So where is he at with upgrading his mexes, though? I don't think he's done as diligent as a job as Xfactor. He's got even like these peripheral mexes. Finished going. Mausers going down to T2 point defense. Did those rockets overshoot? I'm not sure if he is. That's wild. I like that forward factory. That's really cool to see. Yeah, and the T3 transition really nicely placed there behind all this build power, actually. So this is the next phase of the game, right? Shiva grunt production, and he should stay on that. Should stay on that for a while. The push here is, I think it's gonna get shut down. Just what, 5 Tigers are left. It's got a couple Starlights in the back. Yeah, a couple more shots. Those are gonna take out the rest of those Tigers. But you know, there's 4 Tsars in the back. How are you gonna stop this? I guess he's gonna reveal the T3. you know, dude, Alt F4 is getting so much value with these air cons. Did miss this though, so it looks like some Tigers made their way in through the south side and are just clearing out all of these expansions here. So, man, I want to give this advantage here to X-Factor. He's up quite a bit on metal. Alt F4 just finished this ICBM launcher, so we'll see if that shot gets off. But that is a lot of metal and build power and energy into a unit that takes a long time to get value. So I think... Okay, he's just trying to scout with these fighters. This is an overwhelming force. I don't see Alt F4 shutting down this attack, but he's going to make his best defense of it. He's bringing his Marauders back up. There's 4 Shivas in the back. How are you going to stop this? A couple good mine shots would be nice, right? Tigers are going to show up. Okay, so this is going to get held, maybe. That T1 spam evaporates, and I think that push is going to get held, but what are these Tigers like in mid? They're still getting dealt with here, but we're just down to these tech units. He backed the Zarza. Are those more Zars? I'm sorry, I kind of missed that fight. I don't see any wrecks. I think those are the same Zars he turned around. Okay, so good to know he kind of retained those. Grunt spam is just flooding into the middle. What is this? 1, 2, 3 bot labs. T2 air out for X-Factor. He's gone up to, what's this, 9 T3 power. T2 power plants. And it's just flooding the map with units. We'll have to see. And this is a rough spot to be in, right? You're trying to resecure this bottom side, upgrade and cap these as like T2 Nexus to have parity with your opponent, and they're just continuing the pressure online. So here's a couple more Zars. This push in middle was never really dealt with. I mean, he forced the 4 Shivas back, but now there's 12. Like, so how are you gonna stop it? These rockets are going to get a lot of value over time. You kind of got to watch out for the splash damage on Shivas. They will do a lot of friendly fire, but it looks like X-Factor has them on fight command. Here, a Shiva going up against a Razorback. Did this missile launcher shoot? Did I miss that detonation? I don't think he shot it yet. This is a really tense moment. Really hard to close these games out against high-level players, but I think I see the writing on the wall here. All these units are going to be streaming into the back line just soon enough, and the T3 units are doing what they can to defend the front, right? But it's still like 11 Shivas versus, you know, a Razorback and a Dream, right? 8 kills already. These Marauders are going to come to the back line trying to defend this grunt spam, but they're not going to be able to shut down these Zars. Starlights in the back are a little bit too late. If you can keep these alive and let them get their value, they can shut down T3 units, but they're just not supported enough. They're going to phase tank the Shiva. A couple of Shiva shots. These last couple Razorbacks are going to go down. And I think this game is a few moments from being over. Kind of scary to see, yeah. But Alt F4 taps out, GG, and look, would you look at this base? So, kind of insane. Well, hope you guys liked that video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next cast. Thanks for watching.